All men should watch this video. 9 signs appears when you both are thinking each other. It's not just in your head. Modern Stoic. The greatest thing you'll ever learn is just to love and be loved in return. Destined. Have you ever caught yourself repeatedly thinking about someone, wondering if they're feeling the same way? Maybe their name pops into your mind for no reason, or a memory of them resurfaces unexpectedly. It's as if there's an invisible thread connecting you, despite the distance or time between you. Take Sarah and James, for example. They had been dating for a while, but lately, life had gotten busy. One evening, Sarah found herself thinking about James, missing him more than usual. She thought about how he would laugh at her jokes and the way his presence made her feel safe. She hadn't heard from him all day, so she just brushed it off as normal. But the very next day, James called her out of the blue, saying he had been thinking about her the entire night before, wondering when he'd get to see her again. It was almost as if they were connected on some level, even without speaking. Here's the thing. The heart often senses what the mind can't explain. The connection you feel may run deeper than you think. When 2 people share a bond, even without words, the universe has a way of signaling that connection. Subtle signs begin to appear, repeated, powerful, and at times, impossible to ignore. Let's dive into the 8 psychological signs that indicate you're not the only one thinking about them. They might be thinking about you, too. 1. They smile when they think of you. There are moments when someone's name pops into your mind, and an involuntary smile curves your lips. It's not because of a joke they told or a specific gesture. They haven't even done anything recently. It's because of the deep, unspoken connection you share. It's almost like your presence in their life gives them a sense of calm and peace, something profound that resonates with their soul. The smile, even when you haven't seen them for days, weeks, or even months, is a sign that you've become their emotional anchor, their home in the chaos of life. This isn't mere coincidence. It's the way the human brain works. It's all about associative memory. The brain tends to link people with specific emotions. So, if you've ever brought joy, warmth, or laughter into their life, even when you're not around, their subconscious holds on to that memory. It's automatic. Every time they think of you, their mind and heart are already programmed to react with a smile, as if your presence, in thought, is enough to comfort them. Now, let's stop for a second. You may be wondering, why does this even matter? What does this really mean for your life? This is where modern Stoicism comes into play. The blessing of Stoicism isn't just in being calm or detached. It's in understanding how deeply our connections to others shape our emotional landscape. And when someone has that kind of reaction to you, smiling when they think of you, it's not a random occurrence. It's a reflection of the impact you've had on their emotional state, your very existence, your energy, the person you are to them, brings them peace. That is no small feat. But here's the thing. This connection isn't just about you being the person who makes them smile. It's also about being the person who doesn't need validation to feel secure in that impact. A modern Stoic would tell you that true strength comes from knowing the power of your presence, not seeking constant reassurance or acknowledgement. You don't need them to smile to validate your worth. That smile is just the external sign of a deeper, more powerful internal connection, one that is built on trust, respect, and emotional resonance. In a world that constantly pulls us in different directions, the old Stoic would remind us that the strongest relationships aren't about neediness. They're about quiet, unshakable certainty in the value we provide to one another. Think about it, when you can make someone smile with nothing more than the thought of your presence. That's when you know you've transcended the superficial, you've tapped into something more meaningful. This connection is beyond the ordinary. It's a bond forged through consistent care, understanding, and genuine interaction. And that, my friend, is something a modern Stoic understands deeply. We live in an age where instant gratification and external recognition are seen as measures of success. But the Stoic, both modern and old, would urge you to think beyond that. They would say that the value of your relationships doesn't depend on grand gestures or constant validation. It lies in the quiet, unspoken moments, the way they smile when they think of you, the way your absence still fills them with warmth, the way you remain a steady, peaceful presence in their chaotic world. That's the true measure of your impact. So, don't chase the flashy moments. Don't search for constant affirmation. Instead, focus on being someone who leaves a mark on their heart, someone who becomes their inner calm, their peace. The blessing of Stoicism is in knowing that, even when you're not around, your influence remains. It's in understanding that your emotional impact is not dependent on your presence, but on the depth of the connection you've cultivated. When they smile in your absence, it's not a sign of neediness, but of the profound peace you've given them, a peace they continue to carry with them. You must understand that real connections are rooted in something far more enduring than fleeting attention or applause. The smile they give when you cross their mind is a manifestation of a deeper truth. Your place in their heart is secure, untouched by time or distance. And that's something a true Stoic knows all too well. It's the quiet blessing of being someone who doesn't need to seek validation, but who is simply present in their lives as a calm, consistent force. That's the power of Stoicism at its finest, knowing that your impact is real, meaningful, and lasting, even when no one is watching. 2. You can't stop thinking about them because you're destined to. And no, this isn't just some poetic fluff or feel-good sentiment. It's the realest truth a man living a Stoic life needs to hear. When someone keeps crashing into your thoughts like a tide that won't quit, waking you in the middle of the night or sliding into your mind while you're halfway through your morning coffee. Don't be so quick to label it as nostalgia. Don't dismiss it as a leftover feeling. Be sharper than that, because sometimes what you're experiencing isn't just memory. It's a message, a pull, a sign that destiny might have a say in this. See, the universe doesn't shout, it whispers, and the modern man, especially one rooted in Stoic lessons, must be wise enough to hear it. When a certain someone keeps showing up in your dreams, popping up in your day-to-day, or slipping into your mind like clockwork, that's not a coincidence. That's alignment. That's the universe nudging you toward what still matters. It doesn't matter how long it's been, or how much you've tried to rationalize your way out of it. If their name still burns behind your thoughts like a soft ember, it's because some connections aren't made to fade. Some bonds were carved into your path long before you even met. Call it fate, call it divine timing, or call it a soul contract. It doesn't change what it is. The Stoic life isn't about denying emotion. It's about mastering your reaction to it. But mastery doesn't mean blindness. The blessing of Stoicism is in recognizing which feelings matter and which are just noise. And this quiet, persistent longing. It's not noise. It's a signal, one worth your attention. When two souls are meant to connect, life will leave breadcrumbs, some obvious, some hidden in the most mundane moments. A song, a phrase, a scent. You must be awake enough to notice. Don't talk yourself out of what your heart already knows. Don't let logic strangle instinct. Be grounded, yes, but not numb. A true man of Stoicism understands that not all truths can be proven. Some must be felt, deeply, viscerally, because the heart knows what the mind can't always explain. When someone's energy stays locked into your orbit, when they live in your mind, rent-free despite the years, despite the silence, that's not weakness, that's gravity. And gravity doesn't ask permission. So stop trying to silence the feeling, acknowledge it, sit with it, let it guide you, not rule you, but guide you. That's the balance. That's art. Because the Stoic lessons you carry are not about becoming stone. They're about becoming unshakable and aware. It's about strength with soul, stillness with sensitivity. If she still lingers in your heart, despite time, despite distance, then maybe, just maybe, she's meant to. And that, my friend, is not something you ignore. That's something you honor. That's something you understand with your whole being. Because sometimes destiny doesn't come crashing in. Sometimes it just stays, quiet, constant, waiting for you to finally notice. If this speaks to something deep in you, if they keep showing up in your mind, uninvited but welcome, then maybe it's not just chance. Maybe it's destiny doing its quiet work. If you feel that pull, don't ignore it. Like, share, and subscribe for more modern Stoic insight. Comment to remember, if they're meant to stay, the universe won't let me forget. 3. You feel emotionally in sync, even when you're far apart. There are moments when you feel emotionally aligned with someone, even when miles separate you. It's not just in your head, it's an undeniable truth. Even the old Stoics, those wise philosophers, would have nodded to this phenomenon, something deeper than coincidence, sharper than mere chance. You're not in constant communication, nor are you intertwined in each other's day-to-day lives, yet somehow, without warning, you sense them. You catch yourself staring into space, a strange weight pressing on your chest, only to discover that they, at that very moment, were facing a tough situation. You find yourself laughing at an inside joke, an unprovoked thought, and then learn they were thinking about that very same memory. That's not just your mind wandering. That's empathic resonance at work. It's not some mystical fantasy. This is real science. It's where the teachings of the modern Stoic meet the raw pulse of human connection. The modern Stoic man respects this connection, doesn't push it away. And you must too, because those emotional echoes, those sudden and unexplainable moments of synchronicity, are trying to tell you something important. Don't dismiss them. Don't ignore them. The blessing of Stoicism is not about suppressing your emotions, but understanding them with clarity. It's about recognizing the power of connection without neediness. It's about being seen, even when no one is speaking. Even Marcus Aurelius, the great philosopher, would have agreed some connections don't require constant proof. They simply exist. You think of her, and just as your mind is wandering to her, the phone buzzes, and you feel that familiar chill as you realize she's calling. It's not magic, it's not luck, it's the mysterious logic of reciprocal awareness. Your nervous systems are attuned to each other, like old radio frequencies that still play through static. Let's be honest, how many times have you tried to brush off these coincidences just to protect your pride? To shield that armor the old Stoic man in you has been wearing for years. But being a modern Stoic doesn't mean shutting off your emotions. It means staying awake to the truth around you. You must be awake to timing, to emotional intelligence, and yes, to those inexplicable moments of synchronicity. You feel them, and you stand strong in the knowledge that you're not losing your mind. There's someone on the other end of that quiet space, dancing to your same unspoken rhythm. This isn't some teenage fantasy. It's a profound adult realization. It's your soul quietly acknowledging another, a nod from one heart to another in a world that is too often too noisy to hear. The beauty of connection is that it doesn't need to scream. It doesn't need validation. It simply is. And the modern Stoic is the one who notices it, who acknowledges it and honors it. You don't need the world's approval when you felt the vibration. It doesn't matter if others tell you. It's all in your head, because when it happens again, and it will, you'll remember the old Stoic spoke of alignment and balance. The modern Stoic knows how to stay aligned. You're never alone in emotion or thought. There's someone else on the other side of that silence, feeling the same pull, the same magnetic force. So, don't dismiss it. Recognize the signal, respect the energy, and above all, stay open. Sometimes, the most profound connections don't arise from constant chatter. They come from the blessing of Stoicism, which allows you to feel deeply without falling apart. If you've ever experienced that invisible rhythm, that moment when your mood shifts and theirs does too, where even in silence, you feel the connection is palpable, that's not luck. That's empathic resonance, a bond beyond words. It's real. And if you know it's real, drop a comment. Our hearts speak the same language, even in silence. Like this video, subscribe for more Stoic life clarity. And remember, real connection doesn't demand attention. It thrives in presence. This, my friend, is the art of modern Stoicism. 4. You keep seeing their name everywhere. There comes a moment in every man's life when the universe seems to speak directly to him. Picture this. You're walking through your day, coffee in hand, emails piling up, your mind only half tuned to the world around you, and then it happens. Boom! Their name, their presence, a signal, jumps out at you from nowhere, on a street sign, in a podcast you've never heard, in a show you've never seen. At first, you brush it off. It's a coincidence, right? But then it happens again, and again, soon. It's no longer just a fleeting thought. Your mind begins to pick up on it as if it's on a mission. This isn't an accident. This is the Bader-Meinhof phenomenon, the frequency illusion. The world, as it turns out, is echoing back to you what your mind is now intensely focused on. When someone becomes emotionally significant, your awareness shifts, and suddenly, their name, their presence, is everywhere. This is no mere trick of the mind. This is a deep connection at work. It's your energy responding to theirs, your emotional radar locking in. This is real, and it's happening for a reason. In the life of a modern Stoic, where clarity and calm observation rule, we understand that this isn't just about coincidence. It's about understanding how your mind works and how energy aligns with thought. Marcus Aurelius, the embodiment of Stoic principles, wrote, "The soul becomes dyed with the colour of its thoughts. When someone colours your thoughts, their name appearing in the world around you is more than a random event. It's not a ghost haunting you. It's the manifestation of an emotional bond, a connection that hasn't faded. It's still alive, still pulsing beneath the surface. Your mind, tuned to this person, scans the world, bringing their presence into focus, because the connection is real. Your brain isn't just playing tricks. Your emotions and energy are aligned, and that's the truth you must face. This is the Stoic way, not to ignore the feelings, but to understand them without losing control. You must never dismiss these signs as mere coincidence. Don't fall into the trap of convincing yourself that it's just your imagination. It's not. It's a powerful reflection of the connection that exists between you. The Stoic doesn't avoid or deny his emotions. He learns to navigate them with calmness and awareness. When something consistently appears in your life, particularly something tied to the heart, it's important to pause and reflect. This isn't just neural activity. This is a moment for deeper clarity, for emotional understanding. Perhaps, just perhaps, they are thinking of you too. Their energy is reaching you, and your subconscious mind is picking up the signal, loud and clear. This isn't about obsession. This is about awareness. The Stoic doesn't chase shadows, but he doesn't close his eyes to the truths right in front of him either. If their name keeps appearing, don't dismiss it. Ask yourself why. Ask what part of you is still connected. What part of them might still be reaching out to you. This is clarity. This is depth. This is Stoicism in action, applied to your emotional life. You must be vigilant, not obsessive, but always aware. The next time their name flashes in front of you, don't smirk and brush it off as a weird coincidence. Stand still, breathe, pay attention. It's a sign. It's the universe asking you to look closer, to dig deeper. Don't run from it. Lean into it. This is what living with Stoic principles is all about. Facing reality with strength, clarity, and an unshakable calmness. No matter what the emotional winds throw at you, recognize the signs, observe them, and use them as a tool for deeper understanding. That's the essence of living with purpose and intention. You must embrace these moments, look them in the eye, and understand what they mean. Victory isn't just in winning external battles, but in mastering your inner life. Stand tall, stand firm, and know this: you are the master of your thoughts. And with Stoic wisdom, you are in control of your emotional world. 5. You have dreams about them, and they feel real. Dreams. We all have them, and sometimes they feel real. But not all dreams are just that. Dreams. Some carry weight, and you can feel it the moment you wake up. There's a sharpness, a clarity, almost as though someone was with you, sitting beside you, speaking to you in the stillness of your mind. The person's face, their voice, it lingers, leaving you with a sensation so strong that you almost question whether you were truly asleep. No, this wasn't an illusion. This wasn't some figment of your imagination playing tricks. This was a soul encounter, a connection beyond the physical, a link that transcends the confines of time and space. You may think that it's just another passing thought, just a random event triggered by the stresses of the day. But think again. Those vivid dreams, those recurring dreams, are not just products of your brain firing off random synapses. They hold meaning. They are not some random glitch in the matrix. The connection between you and that person is so deep that it has etched itself into your subconscious. And it doesn't simply vanish when the day ends. It follows you. It appears in your dreams, in your most vulnerable state, when your mind isn't distracted by the chaos of everyday life. Emails, meetings, the constant buzz of the world around you. When everything goes silent, that's when the connection truly finds its way in. Psychology calls it shared dreaming, subconscious connection, or soul resonance. Call it whatever you want, but it's more than just mysticism. It's energy, it's an emotion, it's a memory, all colliding in the quiet of the night. When you feel something so real, so tangible, you can't just dismiss it as fantasy. You can't simply laugh it off as a fleeting moment of confusion. No, if that dream keeps coming back, with more vividness, more clarity, and more emotion, it could very well mean something. Perhaps they are dreaming of you, too. Not just in passing thought, but deeply, emotionally, in spirit. And that should make you pause. Don't brush it off. Don't ignore it. Recognize it for what it is. A message, a sign, a subtle call from the universe, or perhaps from your own soul, telling you to pay attention. Marcus Aurelius, the Stoic emperor, once wrote, "The soul becomes dyed with the colour of its thoughts." What you think about repeatedly, what shows up in your dreams, carries meaning. It's not random. 6. They pop into your mind out of nowhere. There are moments in life when someone's name or face pops into your mind out of nowhere. You might be doing something mundane, washing dishes, driving, replying to emails, and suddenly they appear. That laugh, that quirky smile. It's not something you've been dwelling on, not a trip down memory lane, and you certainly weren't scrolling through old photos. It just happens, like a whisper cutting through the noise, as if someone has cracked open a door to let their energy drift into your thoughts. This isn't a coincidence. It's a phenomenon recognized by psychologists, known as thought transference. It's the idea that minds, especially those emotionally connected, can transmit thoughts even without direct contact. No calls, no messages, no signals, yet somehow you feel them. That is real. That is the power of connection. This moment, this sensation, isn't something you should brush off. Don't bury it under the weight of stoic detachment or brush it aside with the belief that it's all just in your head. Even the great Stoic philosophers, like Marcus Aurelius, understood the unseen threads of human nature. It's not a New Age, self-help concept. Seneca, centuries ago, knew that when souls are connected, they find ways to call out to each other, even in the quietest of moments. They didn't have smartphones or telephones, but they understood something deeper, the pull of shared experience. This is not a weakness, not a moment of irrationality. It's a reminder that there are unseen forces at play, forces that transcend the boundaries of time and space. This is the foundation of Stoic life, awareness without obsession, recognizing the signals of the universe without falling into the trap of constant interpretation. When you experience this flash of thought, this sudden presence of another's energy in your mind, you must stand firm. This is not a sign of confusion or weakness. No, it's a demonstration of the power that lies in deep emotional bonds. You're not being overly sentimental, nor are you losing yourself in fantasy. This is a signal from the universe, a nudge, a moment of connection that cannot be explained away by logic or dismissed as fantasy. Recognize it. Don't ignore it. Don't make excuses about it being a coincidence. Embrace it as a part of your journey, as a reminder that emotional connections transcend rational explanation. Marcus Aurelius, a Stoic master, taught us that life is full of moments we can't control, but we must remain aware of them. We must be present. He didn't teach us to shut off our emotions. He taught us to master them, to understand them, and to respond with strength and clarity. This connection, this moment when someone floods your thoughts unexpectedly, is not some Hollywood drama. It's real. It's life's hidden architecture, speaking to you in ways that aren't always easy to comprehend. The Stoic principle here is simple. Recognize the unseen. Don't just shut it out because it's easier. Instead, engage with it. Take a breath. Appreciate the quiet energy that comes from real connection. It's not some fleeting emotional surge. It's a sign of something deeper, something more meaningful. Think about it when you feel someone thinking about you, when their presence invades your mind unbidden. It's not a random, fleeting thought. It's a moment of alignment. Your energies have synced up, whether they're consciously aware of it or not. Their thoughts are making their way to you. That's not superstition. That's the resonance. That's energy at work. Don't dismiss it. Instead, let it become a tool, a part of your life's understanding. You must train your mind to see it, not as a glitch or random occurrence, but as a message, a signal. That's the essence of Stoicism. To remain aware, to embrace the quiet, unseen movements that happen all around us. That's real power. You must understand this moment. This sudden presence of someone's thoughts in your mind isn't a sign of weakness or emotional indulgence. It's a reminder of the depth of your emotional bonds. It's a moment to recognize the invisible threads that bind us all. That's the Stoic lesson, not to resist it, but to learn from it. To be aware without obsession, to understand without overthinking. It's about mastering your own mind while allowing the mystery of life to unfold around you. Real strength lies in recognizing these moments of alignment for what they are, not dismissing them because they don't fit into the neatly ordered, rational world we often crave. This awareness is not just about being emotionally attuned to others. It's about knowing yourself, mastering your thoughts and emotions, and living with an openness to life's deeper lessons. The great Stoics understood this, that true mastery of self doesn't mean shutting yourself off from the world, but rather engaging with it in a balanced, controlled way. Don't be afraid to notice the subtle things in life. Don't dismiss the unexpected. It's in these moments that you discover your true power. Recognize the signals, embrace the energy, live with intention, and, above all, remain open to the unseen forces at play around you. That's where true connection lives. That's where you can master life. The next time someone unexpectedly crosses your mind, stop and listen. Don't explain it away. Don't shut it down. That's not a weakness. That's strength in awareness. The Stoic path isn't just about controlling your thoughts. It's about understanding when those thoughts are not just your own. That is the true art of mastering the mind. That's the power of real connection. It's not just in your head. It's real. And it's happening right now. 7. You feel their presence in silence. You ever feel that presence in the silence? I'm not talking about a ghost or a figment of your imagination. No, it's much more profound than that. Silence, when you're genuinely connected to someone, doesn't just fill the room, it vibrates through your bones. It can wrap you up like a soft, warm hand resting on your chest, or shake you awake, like a rush of wind crashing through an open window in the dead of night. That's the paradox, the twist when the connection is real, when it's deeper than words, deeper than reason. That silence, it becomes a language of its own. Picture this. You're lying in bed, everything around you is still, but then you feel it. They're there, not physically, not in the flesh, but in the very fabric of your being, in the depth of your thoughts, in the pulse of your heart. It's fleeting, yes, but it's real. In that moment, it feels like they're right there beside you. And trust me, that's not some delirious fantasy. No, it's a phenomenon recognized and studied by therapists and thinkers alike. It's called a phantom connection, when the emotional gravity between two people is so powerful, so deep, that it survives the physical distance. This isn't just some mystical notion. This is what the modern Stoic understands. The man who can feel without being controlled by those feelings. He can remember without losing himself in the past. The blessing of Stoicism isn't about denying the presence of someone after they've gone. It's about recognizing the meaning of their lingering presence. That kind of deep connection, my friend, is rare. In a world obsessed with shallow interactions, that's not something you take for granted. That's worth something. That's real gold. Let me be clear, silence isn't always a sign of absence. Sometimes, that silence is more than just the absence of sound. It's their soul whispering to yours in a language that words can't capture. You know those moments when you're lying in bed, just before you drift off to sleep, and the world around you seems to still, and for a brief moment, one face, their face, takes up your mind. That's not your mind playing tricks. That's energy. That's memory. That's a conversation that's happening on a deeper level, a conversation between two spirits, a dialogue that doesn't need phones, doesn't need screens. It just needs the two of you to be fully present. The old Stoic would have sat with this feeling, respected it, learned from it. He wouldn't push it away or numb it. He'd honor it. He'd stay alert, stay still. Be that man. Be that Stoic. Don't run from these moments. Be strong enough to sit with them, to understand them. Because when you feel that presence lingering in the silence, it's not because you're fragile. It's because the connection was strong. It is strong. Don't brush it off. Don't belittle it. It's not just grief, and it's definitely not just longing. This is real, human resonance. You must be tough enough to face it, to stand in that space, to truly listen to what silence is trying to tell you. The modern Stoic doesn't shy away from these moments. He sees them for what they really are, proof that connection goes beyond mere physical presence, that love doesn't need noise to exist, and that some bonds, once forged, don't break. They evolve. So, next time you feel them in that quiet room, don't flinch. Don't doubt it. That isn't emptiness. That's presence. That's love, enduring through the silence. That, my friend, is the true blessing of Stoicism. Don't forget that, and live with intention, with awareness. I'll leave you with this thought as you walk through life, as you navigate your relationships. Don't let the noise of the world drown out the quiet moments that matter. Honor them, cherish them, and remember that in the stillness, there's often more depth than you'll ever find in words. So, when the silence speaks, listen carefully. Don't miss it. That's the gift of Stoicism, my friend. The modern Stoic knows it's not about resisting the feelings or the presence of others. It's about understanding their power and letting it shape you without taking control of you. Stand tall, feel deeply, and live in the truth of that connection. The old Stoic knew this, and the modern Stoic knows it too. You must learn to live with that understanding, because once you do, you'll realize love doesn't need words to speak. It just needs your attention, your respect, and your presence. If you found value in this, hit that like button, share it with someone who needs this message, and don't forget to subscribe for more Stoic insights and modern wisdom. Let's build a community of grounded men who feel deeply and live intentionally. 8. You feel each other without speaking. There are moments in life when words fail us, and yet communication is still profound. True connection between two people doesn't need to be spoken aloud. It exists in the silence. You know when something's wrong with her, even before she speaks a word. You feel it deep within your chest, a subtle but undeniable awareness that something is off. Hours later, you hear her hurt, and you realize that feeling wasn't a mere guess or coincidence. It was a bond, a connection that runs deeper than logic. This is not just intuition. It's a form of wisdom, an ancient, primal recognition that transcends time and space. When your phone lights up mere seconds after you think of her, Don't mistake it for chance. That is a connection, an energetic pulse between two souls still in perfect sync, even across great distances. But don't mistake this for weakness. This is strength. This is what the Stoic understands. Marcus Aurelius, a master of Stoic principles, was not advocating for emotional avoidance, but for the disciplined embrace of the truth. And the truth is, some connections are so powerful, they surpass words, surpass logic. The soul becomes dyed with the colour of its thoughts, he wrote, and once two souls meet, truly meet, they imprint on each other in ways no time or distance can erase. That feeling you have when her sadness weighs on your chest before you hear it from her own lips, don't dismiss it. That is proof that there is something more at play, something beyond the ordinary realm of understanding. Men who live by Stoic principles understand this. They know the value of stillness, but they also recognize the power of their gut. Intuition isn't some fanciful, whimsical idea. It is ancient intelligence. It's the same instinct that guided warriors to raise their shields and leaders to anticipate battle before the enemy arrived. In today's world, this gut feeling is often drowned out by the noise around us, constant notifications, distractions, shallow thinking. Don't be fooled by the chaos. Master your focus. Become attuned to the subtle signals that guide you. In a world full of noise, the Stoic man listens. He observes with precision, acts with purpose, and ignores the trivial distractions that lead others astray. He knows the quiet power of understanding what's unspoken. So, when you feel her presence before the message comes, when your chest tightens with emotion without explanation, don't dismiss it, don't ignore it. That is your connection. That is your inner compass guiding you, a reminder that your souls remain intertwined. This isn't weakness, this is power. The power of a man who is in tune with something greater than himself, a man who recognizes the depth of his connection with others, and who trusts his own senses to navigate the complexities of modern life. Let's make one thing clear, not all connections are destined to last, but those rare ones, the ones that show up in the deepest part of your being, those are the ones that matter, the ones that never need to be spoken because they're already known, the ones that thrive beneath the surface of words and actions. If you're feeling this, if you sense her thinking of you, the chances are high she's feeling it too. That kind of awareness, that kind of connection, is not common. But you, my friend, are not like most men. You've chosen to be awake. You've chosen to live deliberately. You've chosen to trust what's felt, not just what's said. Look into their minds and examine their pursuits and aversions. Marcus Aurelius wrote, "This is not just a piece of advice, it's a call to action. It's a challenge to examine the world around you, to go beyond the surface, and to understand the true nature of what connects us. To do so is to live by Stoic principles and win not through force or impulsive action, but through presence and awareness. When your spirit recognizes hers before the world gives you proof, trust it. That is the edge. That is the sign. And that, my friend, is how you master life. Without speaking a word, without explaining yourself, you become the master of your own destiny. Live by Stoic principles, master your mind, master your life. 9. You get sudden waves of emotion that don't feel like yours. Listen carefully, because this is not some vague, mystical theory. It's real. And it matters. You felt it. A wave of emotion, sadness, tension, joy, even fear, crashes into your chest without warning. It doesn't match your day. It doesn't fit your reality. It just appears. And here's the truth that emotion might not be yours. It could be the result of emotional projection, a powerful phenomenon that modern psychology recognizes, and that ancient Stoic thinkers would have intuitively understood. When two people are connected, truly bonded, there is a resonance, an energetic bridge between them. You are not weak for feeling this. In fact, awareness of this connection makes you stronger. Marcus Aurelius, a pillar of Stoic thought, once said, "The soul becomes dyed with the colour of its thoughts." But what happens when the thoughts and the emotions aren't even yours? That's when Stoic discipline becomes vital. You must stand firm. You must master the storm before it controls your decisions. Don't dismiss these waves. but don't let them rule you either. A modern man guided by Stoic principles understands the difference between his own emotional truth and that which enters from another. Recognize it, acknowledge it, then control your response. Emotional intelligence is not about avoidance, it's about command. That sudden sadness, that surge of joy, it may be their signal, reaching for your attention. A connection that defies logic, yet demands presence. But here's the catch. You must not react blindly. You must remain grounded, just as the Stoics taught. Don't get swept away. Control the inner battlefield. Own your space. Stay still in your own soul. Because if someone's storm is moving through your sky, you are the one who must choose whether to let it rain or rise above the clouds. Let's be real. Modern life is loud. Stress, distraction, endless pressure. That makes your emotional clarity even more essential. Don't ignore these signs. Don't suppress them either. Observe, discern, decide. The Stoic man does not fear emotion. He masters it. Remember what Marcus Aurelius said. You have power over your mind, not outside events. Realize this, and you will find strength. So let's get clear. If you're feeling something deep, something unexplained, it could be energy from someone else, someone connected to you. That's not a weakness. That's insight. But never let it shake your foundation. Let it remind you that the true test of strength is not what you feel. It's how you respond. Be still. Be sharp. Be sovereign. Because the modern Stoic doesn't chase signs. He understands them. He owns his energy. He rules his inner world. That is what it means to master your mind, to live with honor, and to walk the path of the Stoic in today's chaotic world. So the next time that wave hits, don't drown. Stand, breathe, lead. This is your life. Rule it. 5 things women secretly desire more than money. Psychology men must know. Modern Stoic. The best thing to hold on to in life is each other. Audrey Hepburn. Many men think they understand what women want. Flashy cars, designer watches, and high-status jobs. But what if I told you the key to her heart doesn't lie in material wealth? There are traits that captivate her on a much deeper level. Traits that transcend anything money could buy. These traits aren't loud or flashy. They don't scream for attention. Yet, when a man exudes them, a woman feels them in her core, beyond thoughts, beyond words. It's in the way she breathes around him, how her body responds to his energy, how deeply she feels his presence. The men who truly understand this, whether they are playboys, mystics, or modern Stoic kings, know that women seek more than money. What they long for is deeper than wealth. Women crave meaning, power, and genuine presence. And when a man embodies these qualities, he unlocks an undeniable attraction. This isn't about tricks or surface-level advice. If you're tired of pretending and seeking validation through superficial gestures, you're in the right place. We're focusing on the kind of power that doesn't need to show off, the kind of power that feels as solid as gravity itself. By supporting this journey, you're not just helping us grow. You're becoming part of a movement that empowers men to become grounded, desirable, and free from the confusion that holds them back. Let's dive in and explore what truly matters. Number 1. Directional confidence. In a world filled with distractions and uncertainties, there is a rare magnetic power in a man who knows exactly where he's going. This is the essence of directional confidence. Women, no matter how much they may try to deny it, can feel it in every aspect of his being. His body language, his tone, the way he carries himself in a room. He's not rushing, not aimless, but walks with a quiet intensity, signaling something deeper. Purpose. This is something that many men miss. Most wander through life, reacting to situations, adapting to circumstances, hesitating when decisions are required. But the man who exudes directional confidence is not waiting for life to tell him what's next. He's not looking for external validation. He already knows his direction, his goals are clear, and his values are unwavering. He is a man built on intentions that are grounded in something far beyond the ordinary. And this is where the power lies. Women aren't drawn to loud ambition or the superficial displays of confidence that lack substance. Instead, they are magnetized by the quiet certainty of a man who doesn't need to explain his mission because he embodies it with every step he takes. When she sees that you are not aimlessly drifting, but instead building something meaningful, she starts to perceive you differently. You are no longer just another guy in the room. You are a force, one that she feels. This subtle yet profound shift in perception is what makes you stand out. It's not about dominating or controlling her, but about having clarity. Here's why this matters. A woman's attraction is not driven by the superficial, not by looks or material things. It's rooted in her biological wiring to detect leadership energy. But leadership, in this context, is not about manipulation. It's about having a sense of direction, a clear, unwavering purpose that extends beyond her. Women are drawn to men who have a mission, a legacy they are building, something they are deeply passionate about. When she sees that you're focused on a greater purpose, she feels safe to follow. And that doesn't mean ignoring her, dismissing her needs, or being emotionally unavailable. No, it means that you are anchored in your own path, in your own journey, and she becomes part of that, not the end goal. This difference is the key to the magnetic pull that many men fail to understand. It's not about grand gestures or superficial promises, but about a deep-seated certainty that you are headed somewhere. And she can sense it. She feels your direction, your clarity, your leadership, and that's what makes you irresistible. In a world where most men are trying to get by, simply reacting to life's challenges, it's the man with directional confidence who wins her desire. You must be the man who knows where he's going and walks that path with purpose and conviction. The secret lies not in loud declarations, but in embodying your mission. When you do this, you make an undeniable impression. Women are not seeking a man to simply validate their existence. They seek a partner who will join them on a journey, a partner who leads with purpose and clarity. So, if you want to draw her in, focus on building your own mission. You must cultivate your own path. Don't wait for life to dictate your direction. Be the man who lives by intention, and the rest will follow. Now, I want to hear from you. Have you ever experienced this kind of magnetic pull from a man with direction? What are your thoughts on how purpose impacts attraction? Share your opinions in the comments. Let's keep the conversation going. Number 2, social fluidity. In the complex dance of attraction, social fluidity plays a pivotal role, especially when it comes to understanding what women truly desire. It's not just about being liked, it's about being admired, respected, and seen as someone who is trusted by others. A man who walks into a room and commands the respect of those around him without even uttering a word is sending a powerful message. Women are biologically wired to assess social cues quickly. This has been ingrained over thousands of years of evolution. When a woman observes that a man is accepted, respected, and followed by others, her subconscious automatically begins to view him in the same light. This instant social proof speaks volumes, far more than any carefully crafted words ever could. You don't need to be the loudest or most attention-grabbing person in the room. You just need to be the center of gravity, the kind of person others naturally gravitate towards. A man who walks into a room and is met with friendly eyes, warm greetings, and subtle nods isn't just well-liked. His social presence has already done the hard work. But why is this so crucial? Because when a woman observes a man in a social setting, she learns more about him in the first few minutes of watching how he interacts with others than in an hour of direct conversation. Does he walk into a room with ease, or does he seem out of place? Is he comfortable in his skin, relaxed in the presence of others, or does he seem unsure and anxious? These initial cues tell a story far more powerful than any set of words could. When a man is respected and trusted by those around him, that respect and trust are reflected back to him by others, and a woman watching him will feel that too. It's not about being the loudest or most charismatic person in the room. It's about exuding an energy that makes others feel comfortable and secure. This social fluidity isn't about networking or trying to impress. It's about emotional fluidity in its purest form, understanding how to hold space, how to be present without needing to dominate. In modern life, this means that when you enter a room, take a moment to scan it slowly. Don't rush in, don't look desperate for attention. Acknowledge others early with a warm nod, a brief glance, or a friendly greeting. Be present. If someone is speaking, listen to them first before offering your response. Redirect attention back to the group, not to yourself. Master the small rituals, maintaining eye contact, allowing your presence to fill the space without forcing it, and timing your replies without rushing. This is how you build social fluidity. It's about being attuned to the emotional energy around you and knowing how to calibrate your response. Don't match the loudest energy in the room, match the strongest one. This isn't about competing for attention. It's about knowing how to remain grounded in your presence while also navigating the emotional landscape of others. Now, here's something crucial the next time you're in a group setting with a woman nearby. Resist the urge to chase her attention. Instead, engage with the group. Let her observe your value through the way others interact with you. Don't make her the focal point. Make your presence and the way you interact with others the focal point. Women are keen observers, and when they see you being socially fluid, graceful under pressure, kind to strangers, and grounded in your presence, they experience something primal. They recognize your value not just through your actions, but through how others respond to you. They'll think, if others admire him, maybe I could too. It's not about logic, it's about primal recognition. And this kind of recognition unlocks desire faster and more powerfully than any compliment, gift, or clever line ever could. So, the next time you're out in a social setting, remember that your greatest asset is not how you present yourself alone, but how you are perceived by the group. Engage with presence, hold space without forcing your way in, and let the respect others show you speak louder than any words you can say. That's the key to unlocking deeper, more genuine connections, and it's a skill that every modern man must master if he wants to truly understand what women desire. Number 3. Grounded humour. Every man desires to make a woman laugh, yet the overwhelming majority fail, not because they lack humour, but because their humour stems from desperation. The moment she senses you're seeking her approval or trying too hard to entertain, the attraction begins to fade. Sure, you may get a smile, perhaps even a chuckle, but that's not enough to pull her in. Why? Because your humour lacks the one thing that truly drives desire: grounding. Grounded humour is the real game changer. It doesn't chase laughter. It doesn't try to impress. It isn't a performance. It's the expression of a man who is already whole, who understands that true intimacy isn't won through jokes, but created through emotional depth, lightness, timing, and energy. When you make her laugh from this rooted place, it affects her on a deep, subconscious level. It signals to her that you are a man at ease with himself. You are not anxious, not seeking validation. You occupy your space with power and ease. You're playful, but you are also commanding. This combination, pure magnetism, it's what draws her in. And make no mistake, this type of attraction isn't built on trying to be funny. It's built on being grounded in who you are. To cultivate grounded humour, start by practicing silence after you make her laugh. Don't rush to fill the gap. Let it linger. Let her feel your steadiness in that silence. This act alone reinforces your sense of security, and she'll take notice. Keep your teasing soft, calibrated. Gentle irony is the key. Flirt through insight, not insults. You don't need crude or over-the-top humour to captivate her. Precision and playfulness go hand in hand. A well-placed expression, like a slow smile, a raised eyebrow, or unwavering eye contact, holds far more allure than any punchline ever could. And if she doesn't laugh, don't try to correct her or force the moment. Stay neutral. She may not remember the joke, but she will remember the feeling you left her with. To be truly magnetic, you must be unapologetically yourself. Understand this: the goal isn't to make her laugh. The goal is to make her feel safe, secure, and drawn to the man who knows his worth. As Steve Jobs once said, The people who are crazy enough to think they can change the world are the ones who do. Be that man, grounded, powerful, and unwavering in your presence. Stay true to yourself. Let her laugh when she feels it, but never for the sake of impressing her. Let your grounded humor speak volumes. Now, here's your challenge. Practice this approach. Next time you're with her, let your humor come from a place of complete self-assurance. And, if you haven't already, comment, and share this with those who need to hear this message. What will you do differently next time to embody this grounded power? Drop a comment below and claim your mastery. Number 4. Consistency is seduction. Consistency is the quiet force behind true seduction, a steady rhythm that women instinctively desire and rely on. Many men misunderstand the true nature of attraction, mistakenly believing it hinges on sparks of passion or grand, sweeping gestures. The idea that excitement and fireworks are the key to building deeper attraction is a falsehood. You don't need expensive gifts, poetic words, or dramatic actions to capture her heart. The real key lies in something far more rare and lasting: consistency. You must show up and remain constant in your actions, words, and energy over time. But don't mistake consistency for being robotic or unfeeling. Consistency doesn't mean you shut off your emotions or become emotionless. It's about emotional reliability. It means that no matter what mood she's in, whether she's elated or enraged, your presence remains steady. It's about the way you respond to her, not fluctuating or reacting based on her energy, but providing a calm, unwavering presence that she can always count on. This kind of reliability doesn't just create stability, it builds trust and safety. Women, like all human beings, need stability in their relationships. When they feel that, they can let go of their fears, anxieties, and uncertainties. When you are consistently there for her, whether in moments of joy or in moments of tension, you create a safe space where she feels protected, understood, and supported. Over time, this steady presence allows her to relax her defenses and begin to trust you in a way that is impossible without this emotional reliability. This is when desire begins to grow. Slowly but surely, it's cultivated through your ability to be emotionally grounded. As Carl Jung wisely said, the meeting of two personalities is like the contact of two chemical substances. If there is any reaction, both are transformed. You must give her the room to feel emotionally safe, to trust that you won't react impulsively to her mood swings, and that no matter what, you will be there. It's a rare thing for a woman to feel this deeply rooted security in someone, and it's that security that lets her heart open fully to you. When you are consistent, you begin to build something much more valuable than short-lived passion. You are building a foundation that will stand the test of time. You are becoming the one person she knows she can depend on. This is a feeling that goes beyond mere attraction. It's a powerful connection based on reliability, trust, and emotional safety. Desire, as much as it is often romanticized as an exciting, fast-burning flame, is actually a slow-burning fire that requires a solid base to thrive. Without consistency, the flame flickers and dies out, but with it, it becomes an enduring force that only grows stronger as time passes. This consistency, therefore, is not something small or insignificant. It is, in fact, the very cornerstone of deep, lasting attraction. Don't chase the fleeting thrills of excitement and grand gestures. Those may win you attention, but not trust. The most magnetic and powerful force in any relationship is emotional consistency. When you are steady, dependable, and grounded, that is what creates a deep, lasting desire, a desire that lasts far longer than any grand romantic gesture ever could. This is the path that leads to something greater than just attraction. It leads to a lasting, transformative connection. It's time to ask yourself, are you ready to be that rock-solid presence for the woman in your life? Are you prepared to show up consistently, unwaveringly, and emotionally reliably? If so, you will discover a depth of connection and attraction that most men never experience. Don't underestimate the power of your consistent presence. It is far more valuable than any material gift or fleeting excitement. If you want to go beyond surface-level attraction and create something that stands the test of time, then consistency is your most powerful tool. Think about it. How much more deeply would your connection with her grow if she could count on you, day in and day out, to be the steady force in her life? Share your thoughts below. Have you experienced the power of consistency in your relationships, or are you still chasing the excitement of the moment? Number 5. Protective energy. In the depths of a woman's biology, beyond the surface-level desire for excitement, she craves something far more profound: containment, not control, but the kind of unwavering protection that allows her to feel safe and secure, emotionally, energetically, and physically. This is her primal need, her core desire. It's not about thrill, it's about a man who exudes protective energy. When she meets a man who embodies this energy, a profound shift happens within her. Her breath slows, her body relaxes, her voice softens, and most importantly, her defenses fall away. This shift doesn't happen due to bravado or exaggerated displays of masculinity. It comes from something far more powerful: a quiet, unshakable presence. A presence that communicates with every fibre of his being. No matter what you bring, whether it's your storm, your spark, or your silence, I will stand firm, I will not flinch, I will hold you. And that kind of strength, that kind of certainty, is rare. Very few men possess it. And it's what women crave more than anything else. In modern life, men have been misled into believing that being strong means loud, bold actions or dominating every room they walk into. But the true power lies in quiet confidence and an unwavering presence. It's about being grounded and secure in yourself, being a rock for the woman beside you, not because you're flexing your muscles or shouting about your success, but because she can feel that no matter the chaos, you won't waver. That is the essence of protective energy. Think of the famous words of Mahatma Gandhi. In a gentle way, you can shake the world. This applies here. True power doesn't scream for attention, it simply is. Your stillness, your grounded energy, makes her feel safe enough to drop her guard and open herself up. You don't need to control her, you need to hold her. And when she feels that, she will open to you, trust you, and ultimately desire you in ways that go far beyond surface-level attraction. This dynamic doesn't just benefit relationships, it transforms the way women see the world around them. When you give off this protective energy, you create a space where vulnerability is allowed, where trust is built. It's in your gaze, your posture, and your words, each one wrapped in a promise that she will never have to carry the weight alone. And that's the power you wield as a man, a power that comes from a place of deep self-assurance. True masculinity isn't loud, it's quietly powerful, confident, and deeply protective. That's the kind of energy that attracts her. Not flashy, but rooted in strength. Now, let me tell you something that many don't understand. She can feel your energy. Women are far more intuitive than many men realize. She can tell if your confidence is forced, if your presence is weak, or if you're uncertain. And when that happens, her walls go up. That's why authenticity is key. You must first be at peace with yourself, truly confident in your own worth, and only then can you project this protective energy. Remember the famous quote from Marcus Aurelius, the Stoic emperor. The best revenge is to be unlike him who performed the injustice. In your case, the best way to win her heart is to be unlike the weak, insecure men who need to prove themselves. Be unlike those who yell for attention. Instead, become the man who holds his ground, who can stand firm when the storm rages around. Become the one she can trust, the one she feels safe with. Because when you exude protective energy, there is nothing more magnetic. Take control of your life. Build your strength, not only physically but emotionally and mentally. Show her that you are not a man who falters under pressure, and watch how her trust in you grows. Let her feel your unyielding strength and embrace the power of protection. This is what will set you apart. This is what will make her desire you, trust you, and ultimately fall for you. Now, take charge. Step into your strength and be the protector she longs for.